Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel. Today's session, we are privileged to have Mr. Chijioke Okonkwo from the Enugu State Regulatory Commission. He's here to share more light on what they are doing in the state, and of course also see how much next year can be more useful to the state in terms of achieving their objection in terms of creating energy, 100% energy access, and improving the life of the people in the state and of course with the sub-region at large. Mr. Okonkwo, good morning and welcome to Next Year.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. So my first question to you, sir, is how would you rate the effort of Next Year, particularly around the policy formulations, the market design, and how have you been able to use the market design to make incremental impact in the state?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I must say that the Enugu State electricity policy is like our Bible. And it is actually a detailed document, one of the best quality outputs that I can say that any administration could adopt to turn things around if it puts such structures that has been detailed out in the policy document in place. Let me start by saying that this entire exercise, or should I call it transformation, that is taking place in Enugu State, the accolade must first go to the executive Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubuisi Mbah, for even initiating the process in the first place. I mean, that gave the state an opportunity to leverage on the expertise and experiences of the next tier consulting firm. To have been able to take what His Excellency wants to see happen in Enugu State and put it to a documented arrangement that makes a lot of sense, that is easier to implement, or very easy to implement, speaks volumes of what has gone behind the policy document in the first place. I mean, the fact that the next year team actually also helped to bring on board my team, and I must say my very experienced and grounded team, put us in a position to be able to work very easily. Take the expectations that has been detailed out in the policy document and also consolidated in the Enugu State electricity law to drive our process of developing our own state-specific electricity market. Now, I should say that all the outputs that came from next year's intervention or support to the state, such as the policy document, such as the structure of the commission, as the case may be, detailing out our key responsibilities in the sector, and actually giving us timelines and targets, helps the commission, our commission, put in place what is actually working today. And because we know what the state now wants to see based on the policy document and how it has actually been detailed out with the specific target, it has put us in a position to drive this process to one that we are actually beginning to see the impact, and very positive impact, because we're making change. We are moving from a place where electricity access has been grossly inadequate, where supply has been frustrated by both the grid collapses as much as the liquidity challenges and the inefficiencies that comes with the sector operators that feel that they are running a monopoly, to one that is gradually beginning to attain some level of consideration of the customers that they are serving. So we are making a huge change with respect to electricity services in Enugu. And like I said, it's almost as if the policy document is like our Bible. Yes, we are tinkering with it because it gives us specifics to look to. And let me add, the additional support that Next Year has also continued to give us with respect to collecting data, analyzing our data, and helping us determine what is, the true situation of things on ground, helps with our critical decision-making position.
I'm happy that not just that you're able to make decisions with those data, and of course you're able to drive the market based on the recommendations of the policy. I'm happy to hear that you are also looking at even the policy to see how you can even further fine-tune it. That's what I hear you saying.
Of course.
That's very encouraging. And that also goes to speak into the recruitment process of your team members, because I mean, with a good team and a very functional team, they can look through things and of course further modify and make it more efficient. So that's very helpful, and thank you for highlighting those points. The second thing I want to ask is, because the essence of this market, or the effort that everybody has put together, starting with His Excellency, is to basically see physical changes in the state. Before the commission was put together, the state was struggling with around 70 megawatts average daily allocation.
Yes.
Now, so what would you say are the noticeable changes that has happened in the state? Is it in terms of generation, in terms of customer confidence, in terms of market efficiency? What are the noticeable changes that has happened as a result of these efforts?
I could start rolling them out. I mean, let me summarize them. But I could list quite a number of the changes that has taken place since we came on board and became fully operational in 2024. I mean, for one of the things that we personally are experiencing is the commitment of the state government to ensure the independence of the regulatory commission. We are truly independent and have been given every support that will help us be as efficient as we can be. So that puts us in a position to get the work done. Now, in getting the work done, we have set up our customer complaints resolution desk that has direct correlation and interactions with customers in Enugu State. I mean, the fact that we're on ground is the advantage of having a regulatory commission at a decentralized or state level, at a subnational level. So we can easily meet with any of the challenges that our customers are going through and immediately resolve them because we are on ground. I mean, there's no part of Enugu State that we cannot get to within an hour, 30 minutes. So the fact that we are on ground puts us in a position to go and see what the customer is experiencing and resolve it very easily. So there has been some improvement in customer complaint resolution as it pertains to Enugu State. Then on the second part, we have developed our structure considering the deficit of over 500 megawatts that has been identified in our policy document as self-generated by citizens of the state. And it's our desire to have our citizens, you know, will be relieved of that responsibility of generating their own electricity supply by giving it to those that it is their business, really, because they're actually generating it at very high costs. So the fact that we're also being considered as a generator republic as a country really puts us in a position to create the enabling environment to open doors for potential investors to come in and play in the power generation space. And the starting point was the 10 megawatts that was issued to 𝗱cie Limited upon our takeover. And I must say that a few weeks ago, we also issued a 5 megawatts to Tempo Power. I can actually now say that the commission is reviewing at least 4 generation applications from potential investors that have seen the enabling environment created in Enugu State, you know, to generate that power. And they are actually seeing that this market pays its bills. That business structure that we are promoting based on a willing buyer, willing seller arrangement with commercially viable contracts is meeting their expectations to come in and do business. So with that level of investment coming into our space, it creates an opportunity for us to move from a potentially regarded civil service state to an industrialized state where buyers are happy purchasing that energy because they are actually putting it to good use and the energy is actually available for them to do their businesses. So apart from that, our policy document and the market design that Nexia has been so gracious in helping us put in place also speaks to our decentralization of our distribution arrangement to one that is medium voltage whaling capacity for our subco and the introduction of any electricity retailing companies, which breaks the different markets or load centers, be it industrial, commercial, or residential customers, into clusters that a retailing company could find as a profitable venture and decide that, okay, since they're not getting adequate service from their service provider, I can come in here and play in this space. And the fact that the system has been open to a market arrangement that expects that even this infrastructure that has been put in place by any specific developer can be used by another developer, to either wield that energy and deliver that service to the customers, but on the condition that he also pays a charge, which is regarded as a distribution use of systems charges.
Absolutely.
So nobody loses in the market. Instead, everybody gains. Both the customer that is receiving an improved level of electricity services, to those that have put the infrastructure in place because they are getting the duals, and those that are actually operating the sector, because they see value in extending, improving, and metering the customers, the last mile customer. I mean, they all speak to access, reliable access, and a sustained business in the electricity space. So there's a lot.
That's interesting. If you go if you go to the policy document, in fact, the market design, the market design speaks into intentionality.
Yes.
Intentionality into what the state wants to achieve.
Yeah.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor, has been saying it to whoever cares to listen, that state wants to move to $30 billion in marginally 6 years from now. And to do that, you have to do something quite aggressive, ambitious, and also sustainable.
Yeah.
And that's what we use to re-engineer some of the ideas or some of the policies that were integrated in the policy paper.
Yeah.
And if you also look at what from our own end, looking at what the Commission has been doing since inception, all right, we feel that you guys are on the right track. You guys are also making the right decisions, making the right moves. With the licensing that has been issued, it's a fantastic testament to the fact that things are going as planned.
Yes.
And we are hoping that in the future it should be much more better.
Sure.
So the next question for me to you is, so what else do you think next year can do for you? And before you answer that question, sir, we know a lot is happening in the market. Like I said in our intro, we are supporting the regulator, the national regulator.
Yeah.
We are also speaking to a couple of sub-national electricity market. We are speaking with 𝘁𝗏𝗃 State. We are speaking with Lagos State on the site. We are speaking to a couple of other institutions on the site. So we are aware that certain things are happening.
Yeah.
All right. One of them is that now NISO exists. NISO needs to be fully functional.
Yeah.
MO exists. There are a lot of bottlenecks and handshake issues with MO that we are aware of.
Yeah.
All right. So with all of these emerging issues, which area do you think next year can further assist you? Is it in terms of market efficiency design, in terms of renewable energy injection, is it in terms of capacity? What area do you think we can come home and, of course, deliver to Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission?
So let me respond to that question this way. We already know that we already know what we want to see our market look like in terms of a fully functional electricity market. And it's while we are actually opening the door and facilitating investment coming in for people to set up their operations and work in our space. We are currently playing the role of enablers for now, facilitators of the investment coming in first. Because for us to say that we're a regulatory commission, if there is no market, what are we regulating?
Absolutely.
We expect investors to come in, make that investment, and start operating before we can actually move to the regulatory business, or the business of regulating their operations. So, at these very early stages, and as the trailblazers that Enugu has been considered to be, I mean, I must say that we're taking those baby steps, because any decision, be it right or wrong decision that we make would impact on the citizens rather badly, very negatively. So we are being very careful. We are analyzing everything. We would like to be criticized. We would like to be, how do I put it? We would like somebody to dispute what we're doing, so that we would actually learn the lessons before we implement, or justify why what we're doing is in the best interest of the people that we are working for and the market that we're trying to develop. At the end of the day, our vision is to guarantee that universal access, and also institute that level of competition that would inevitably drive down costs, improve our service delivery, efficiency, and speak to that sustainability component of it. What His Excellency has helped us do was not just to put a process in place that would just last with the administration. No, this would go beyond this administration, because it has the legal backing of not just the state, but the State House of Assembly, and the commitment of the people working on it today to see that this market grows. So where do we need support, additional support? We need additional support in testing the waters, basically reviewing the regulations we're putting in place, probably creating scenarios, and next year has the ability to do that. Next year actually has that broad range of expertise that could speak to different subject matters, as the case may be. I always enjoy having power conversations.
As a matter of fact, so one of the things, so we have actually been doing a few things on the side for you, though we've not approached officially to communicate them to you. We have created a desk. So we have a desk that their job is, we call them business intelligence. What they do basically is to do data-driven insight into any scenario. They've been doing that for the national market for quite a while. So they've also taken the bull by the horn by also trying to see what you've been doing. So as much as they can achieve, they've been able to go through some of your, like the model for the licensing. The generation licensing, they've gone through it, they're taking a look at it. They've also gone through your distribution licensing, and a lot of insights are coming up. But one of the things I can tell you for now is that the models, the regulations and all of that are fantastic models. They need little or no revisions, but because of the fact that we also know that you're working on your IRP at the moment, perhaps when the IRP is completed, and this on South Energy Asset Studies are completed, we can now give you something much more holistic. All right, so we know like you rightly mentioned, I mean, you are the trailblazer. Everybody's looking up to you to see your successes, so they can, leverage on that to improve theirs. Which also accounts for the fact that you have to be careful. I agree with that. So, but be rest assured that we appreciate the effort yourself and the team is putting together. We equally appreciate the fact that you've taken our recommendation and you've run with it and you're giving good results from it. We'll also be consoled that we are available at your beck and call to keep supporting you. For us as next year, the incentive for us is that we are Nigerians. We want to make Nigeria become a place where all of us can be proud of living comfortably and be able to get our lives rolling as expected. So to everyone, this is basically our intention. Next year, like has been testified already by the 𝗀𝗏 chairman, we are here to ensure that we build communities, build lives, build systems that will live and are more sustainable to everybody. Particularly in the energy sector, we hope to collaborate more with any other interested party to do more work. But for Enugu State, we are proud to be affiliated to Enugu State, and we look forward to greater things coming in the future.
Amen.
Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Chairman.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure.